What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Kingdoms and Castles. My name is Splattercat, where we have some kind of weird, buggy, flaggy thing, I don't know, hashtag flaggy thing taking place on top of our walls. But I'm pretty sure it'll be okay as soon as, like, I don't know, they're being all like stendy and poofy and all over the place. I think it fixes itself whenever you turn the game back on. But welcome back to this super awesome game that I'm enjoying tremendously. We got flags growing up right now. They're doing some weird glitchy thing. I think they'll fix themselves. I think it's just when you pause the game for the most part. Yeah, there it goes right there. I don't know what I want to do now. We need more well coverage. All's well that ends well, but we have had a couple of fires down here that have been concerning. And so I would use that land right there. Food supply is looking good. We don't have to play around with that too much. I would suggest that maybe we leave a gate on this side so that we can expand further in this direction once we run out of land, because we're actually filling in our real estate pretty quickly right now, and that's something that worries me for the future. But yeah, everything appears to be going really, really swell. This is the best playthrough that I've ever had. We appear to be dealing with threats as they come. The enemy hasn't attacked us from any weird directions yet, which has been one of the #1 things that has caused me to just have a horrible day. Is they hit you from like some weird angle and you're just like, oh my god, I didn't think you were gonna hit me from that angle. Oh, you're so cruel to me. Why would you do this? Oh my god, I'm bleeding, my tummy wounds. And so yeah, I think that's probably what I'll do. Is I'll probably expand a road out right here, and I'll put a gate right here so that we can use this land to grow a little bit. So we'll have like the inner wall, then we'll have an outer wall that goes around that, so we got multiple defensive layers so that no matter what happens, we're never actually back up against a wall completely and totally fucked. That's the way that I'd like to keep it. That's the way that I'd like to hold it down. We have 5 guys that are building on our Chamber of War right now. Very cool stuff. That's going to allow us to get ballista. I'm going to start to affix those to kind of the central stations of the wall so that we have a little bit of siege defense, so that when they bring in those big-ass Shrekky bastards, we could put some big old arrows into them. And from what I understand about ogres, they don't like being shot with that stuff. And so we actually have kind of a nice natural gate going right now. I may not even need to build anything right there. I just build the wall down to here with its defensive towers, and then we just leave a gap right there, and that would work perfectly fine too. If you've got a natural solution, why go after things that are aggressively complicated, you know? Why stress about it? Food is looking a little bit lower this time around, so I do think that it's probably about that time for us to expand out our farming just a little bit further. Well, it's still idling at around 130, 140, and so it's down by about 15 net. So yeah, I'll probably add in a couple more just like filler fields down here. Oh, we've got a fire. That's unfortunate. What's on fire? Our roads are on fire. Okay. Let me just demolish that then to get it out of the way, because it's just, well, it's spreading. Ooh, and it spread to our tower too. That's unfortunate. We're probably going to lose that tower actively to fire. Don't know where that fire came from or how it started. Basically, we've built our roads out of nitroglycerin or something, and they're just shit. Alright, so there goes our arrow tower. Note to self, add another well over here. Jesus. Alright, so there's another well. Let's go ahead and get that rebuilt because... What? That is a castle wall. Must only be built atop castle walls, sire. As far as I can tell, it looks like castle wall to me. Uh-oh. Okay, so let's demolish it then. Looks like we had some kind of weird glitch right there, so let me see if that fixed it. That did fix it, so we're solid. I don't think the programming is ready for a fire that takes out a thing on top of a wall without taking the wall out itself too. So I think that's what we just ran into right there. Food's looking okay. Let's drop those farms, as I said I was going to do previously. Yeah, farms wherever we can put them. Just anywhere that there's a nice little sexy gap. Ooh, 6 people have joined our little farce of a society, I guess. Let's drop this in. We can do a couple more over here. We don't have a town square just yet. I would suggest that we do that because it makes people happy. It gives them like a fat happiness bonus. So I would drop that in right there, although that is going to hurt our food supply a little bit. But we're just about at harvest anyways, so it might turn out all right for us. It might. We still have something being built right there. It needs 2 more stone deliveries. I get the feeling that the things that are being run around right now, yeah, there goes the food. There's the harvest, though, right on time. So we had like one brief little period where you started to see people's ribs popping on out, but I think it's going to be okay. The other thing that I would convince my peasants to do is maybe put in a little bit more farming right there, so that no matter what we do, we've still got a little bit of area to play with when it comes to some of our productivity. I'm going to turn that back on so that it's producing wood again. We don't need a lot of wood right now. Too much wood can be a bad thing. Believe me, that's why they put those warnings at the end of the Viagra commercials. And then from there, we've begun to stack up a little bit more stone. So I think working on the walls is going to be my next project. Also, for the castle, please give me a ballista tower from right there. Actually, no. Give me a ballista right there. That looks great. Give me an archer tower right there. And give me a ballista tower over here. I know that seems like a random choice, but the ogres have always chosen to focus on that spot right there. And so if they're going to be aggressive about fuck-using that spot, I'm going to be aggressive about fuck-using them right back. Hey, you try to bring that noise, you try to bring that bang, you try to bring that slapper up in my neighborhood. We'd be like, brakaw, and you'd be like, oh my god, I've been shot, I'm falling over, oh my god, my blood is leaking from my body. Do ogres have blood? I assume that if they have layers, they also have blood. Food's looking really, really good right now, so that's topped off for the next little bit. Let's focus on maybe expanding our castle out a little bit more. Great Hall will give us eat grand meals every single day here. I don't think it does anything yet then. Charcoal makers would probably be the next people that we want to look at, aside from, oh, we've got a Viking invasion. This time they brought the good shit. They brought the heat this time. Okay. How close are those to done? You guys want to get those done a little bit more rapidly? I would like it if you would. It would make my life a little bit easier, considering they're striking at a location at which we have no defense right now. So they are hitting us definitely from that nastier side that is not ready for what's about to happen. Just knock them off the walls a little bit and save ourselves some trouble. I think we'll be safer. And there's that big damage we're sending their way. Yes, we did lose a tower right there, but it was like one of our remedial towers. It was one of the towers that nobody really cares about. It was a tower that was basically on its last legs to begin with, and he got killed off quick. Glad to see it. Very, very glad to see how fast he died. Let's clear that rubble out, and let's get the wall repaired. That's another defense. That's another really, really great defense that we've managed to mount. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And that's going to be the completion of our defense right there. I will go out with my 3-stack method that I've been using this entire time because it appears to have been effective. What I'm also going to try and do as we get more people, I'm going to try and put a ballista in the center of each of these. So that's why I spaced it out by 3 so that I could have a ballista in the middle. Still haven't figured out how to fix this stuff. I don't know. I'll just rebuild it as it goes, though, because we're starting to accumulate a surplus anyways. So who cares? Our stone is popping. We've basically got our walls done at this point. I will chop that, and I will chop that just to make sure that it's out of the way. But from there, we need more housing. And so that's going to be my next project, is just to... The doors on that side? Okay, well, that's going to be ugly if I do that, and I can't live with ugly. They say God hates ugly. Or God loves ugly. But that is not the case. I am the god of this universe right now. And I do not like ugly. I need at least the house facings to be proper. If the house facings are good, I'm happy. There's nothing for me to complain about. The house facings are not good. That puts me in an upsetting disadvantage that I don't want to be up inside of. So we got a few more houses getting dropped in here. That should provide us with a few more people to help out with some of our rudimentary needs. For 25 gold, we can buy a festival. Unfortunately, I am broke. So, because I'm broke, we may have to turn on taxes again. They don't like it when I do this, but sometimes it's not about what they like. Taxes are one of those necessary evils. None of us like paying them. None of us like doing them. But if you live in a place that's fortunate enough to use their taxes for intelligent shit, it means that people get to do stuff like go to the doctor, have roads, have public order, and people you can call when somebody's kicking the window out of your car and you don't feel like getting into a shootout today. People that get paid to do those tasks for you. I like that. I'm okay with it, so you know what, peasants, you're going to have to bite the bullet on this one and take one further team. I will put another hovel right there, but only if it faces the right way. Only if it faces the right way will you be allowed to have a house today. And then actually, I'm kind of thinking about doing one of the bigger buildings, like a manor. Like a very, very cool thing over here. I think that's the entrance to the manor right there. Although it demands charcoal, so we'd want to get our charcoal supply up and running first before we do that. I don't think I have any idle villagers right now. Is anybody working on that one right there? Probably not, because its accessibility is, like, terrible. I'll let them get their stuff done first. It'll be alright. Slow this thing on down a little bit. We're on year 40 right now. Not too terrible. If you make use of, like, natural blockades and whatnot, you can really save yourself. I mean, we saved probably a good 100, 150 stone in the early part of the game. Dude, we have a food surplus like crazy right now. That's really, really awesome. I'm going to put a manor in right there. Absolutely. We'll turn this into farmland over here just to make sure that food stays a principal part of our production. 3 builders on that one right there, so it is being worked on. That's solid. Makes me happy. I don't want to over-encumber them with work right now, is the only part that I'm worried about. So I'm going to stay away from, like, being a taskmaster right now and just try to keep things the way that they are, because things are looking really beautiful, and I don't want to overexpand and mess myself up and cause problems. But the food surplus is great. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos on this, and I feel like we're doing pretty well versus the way that other people were doing at this point in their playthrough. And so we'll wait to see what challenges come. Once they start dropping 3 or 4 ogres on us at the same time, I'm sure it'll get a lot worse. But for right now, there's nothing to complain about. Very nice. Good job, guys. Get that thing built. Get that thing banged out, guys and ladies. It's difficult to figure out who's got boobs and who doesn't when everybody's just a square. Everybody's just a punk-ass square, bro. Everybody's a square. Can't hang out with them. They don't like to do fun stuff. They don't like to do those cube drugs. Everybody's doing it, man. Everybody's doing it. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know. That's when your mom's always like, if everybody threw themselves off a bridge, would you do it too? And you briefly consider for a moment, you'd be like, well, is there candy at the bottom of the bridge? Is there a large payoff if I film it and put it on YouTube when I jump off the bridge? Like, what are the criteria here that are not being expressed to me? You know what I mean? You how did it feel? And at that point, we'll talk about whether or not I would jump off with everybody else. Must only be built atop castle walls, sire. What if I knock it down a peg? Weird. Hey. I have no complaints from me. I have no idea how that's functioning right now, but we got to get the last of these towers up. Ballistas are defending us from any outsiders who might try to come in and mess with our lives. They're chopping down these last trees right here so that we can get the final walls in. I will also queue up a few more build jobs in here. Was that 3 or was that 2? I can't tell. 2, 3. Okay. I'm just going to make a big wall right there, and it's going to look funky, and nobody's going to like it. But I can't help with that. Technically, I could build the wall right here and just not even complete it down there, but I want more surfaces for firing things at my enemies. And so I'm going to build some big walls right there, and we'll put, like, an arrow tower. We'll probably put another one right here so that it can have a ballista or something like that, or we'll put another one right here with a ballista, just so we've got defense on every angle of our base right now. All right, so we've got room, 80 beds, all ready to go. Hopefully, we've got 4 more people that just joined us. Houses are starting to get built. Things are starting to happen. We want to watch our food. So at the end of this winter, we want to watch and see what happens with it. Lost my cursor there in a sea of whiteness. And it looks like we're almost maxed out on food. So another granary might be in order. But as long as we're maxed out, I'm not going to build anymore because we're out of space at the moment. I would start preparing this for a new expansion, I think. And so taking like just a road and just kind of declaring our intent to continue expanding into this area is good enough for me. In addition, I would also take roads from down here. And we will have them run the outsides of the wall. Very cool. So happy about this right now. You can't see the giddy and the glee and, like, everything going on my face right now, but seriously, I am super stoked about the way that this is going. We built ourselves a killer town right now. If I can build a tavern, that would be great, too. If I could put it in, like, a residential area, that would be fine by me. A tavern consumes food, if you've never seen one before, but it nominally raises the happiness of everybody in the area that lives in a house. And since we're going to have a manor down here, that's a good plan. That's a good plan. With our economy, we've got a lot of idle people, or people that don't have assigned jobs yet. I'm going to go for some charcoal makers. So if we have a little bit of extra space in here anywhere, it's going to be filled in with charcoal makers for the moment. So there's 3 charcoal makers. That's all ready to rock. They are building the walls as rapidly and as aggressively as they can. I appreciate your efforts in the service of the Commonwealth. Thank you for that, my dear, dear villagers, for caring about whether or not we all die horribly. It's an altruistic pursuit, and one that doesn't pay particularly well. The peasantry, I feel bad for them. They eat the costs on a lot of these wars. They're the ones that really fill the coffers and make sure that we don't all die. And I live inside my ivory tower. I have my super awesome building that they can't come inside of. I actually put a sign out front that says no peasants. I say leave the food at the front doors. Then I have the servants go out and get it wearing full hazmat bodysuits. I wear one as well because peasants are dirty. Peasants get sick. They have diseases and stuff. It's just, better safe than sorry. Who's going to run the city if I'm too busy hacking and coughing and dying like they are? Who's going to benefit from all this awesome wealth if not for me? Oh, shit. They hit from a direction I didn't want to get hit from yet. Yikes. This one's going to sting. Hate to tell you, this one's going to sting. I was hoping they wouldn't come from that direction. All of the attacks have actually come from really, really convenient directions since we started. This is the first one that hath come from a direction that is going to sucketh the asseth off the world. They're just going to storm straight in and they're really going to hurt us. Can't do anything about it. They hit us where we were weak, unfortunately. Although the ogre might get killed. Oh, he tramples forests. Interesting. Well, unless they come straight through the front door, like a bunch of idiots. Didn't expect that one. Well, shit. Didn't expect that at all. Yeah, put that big... I would like if they could add health bars for the enemies. I would really, really like that. Apparently, the enemy has just decided they're going to do something hella stupid today. And in doing something hella stupid... I don't really even know what he's going after. But we killed him, so... We should definitely get some defenses up and running on this side. Vikings are going to be grumpy after losing that many people. They're going to be real grumpy. Did these all have workers? They do not, because it's not fully staffed. So now would be the time that I would suggest unto my beautiful townsfolk. Oh, insufficient trees. Okay. Yeah, turn back on all the foresters then. If we don't have enough wood to get the job done, that means we're going to have to be a little bit more desperate here in getting things taken care of. I would actually suggest that maybe we go out and chop some of these trees in front of the building too, just to kind of get ourselves a little bit of extra wood and move forward. We're going to need this space for building, so we can probably afford to knock out 3 or 4 stacks of trees over here too. Stone supply is good. What jobs are everybody doing right now? So we've still got forestry happening. Nobody's filling in those jobs, though. The thing is, it takes a bunch of people to fill in these defensive capacities, and so you end up having a little bit of brain drain when it comes to your workers. Alright, so we'll build one big manor right there. And I assume inside of that place people will have manors. Although I don't know. Considering we have good enough stone for the moment, I am going to shut these down so that we have a couple more people to help build some of the things that are going on. And then we'll just wait that out, and I'll let you know how it goes. But wood should recover. Food is alright. It's dropped by about 80 over the last couple years. But we've got room. I can expand out here, and I can do better. So, oh my good lord. Okay, then. Oh, I can't collect taxes anymore either. We are not fire safe on this side. It said that it covered that area, but I think that was a very liberal usage of coverage. Although, we don't really need that many foresters inside of here, so they may have just cleared out a bunch of room for me. We are going to have to rebuild the throne room. Obviously, we can't. Oh, no, that was the, that was our Chamber of War. Shitty. Okay, so let's get our ballistas back. Hold on. And then to make sure that doesn't happen again. A lot of it was that people were out working and chopping down trees and stuff, too. So we didn't have the people we needed in order to save ourselves from a fire. Downer. Might be worth it to chop one of these right here and actually put the forestry lodge over on this side too, because he's functioning with a little bit of limited space right there, I think. Food is definitely dropping off by about 40 a year, so we'll want to keep an eye on that, I think. I don't know, let me see. Yeah, we're going to need some more farms and things. We're going to need some more farms. It'll be alright though. We're good. I've got spaces all up in here that I can just patchwork with farms and just make it function. As soon as we get that built right there. God, wells. Wells are by far the most important thing in the game. That's what I've learned today. Wells are super important. We're hurting for stone now. So let's go ahead and we're going to put people back on quarrying duty once the building is done. And I think that is going to mostly conclude today's episode of Kingdoms and Castles. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode. It's been a lot of fun so far. I think this game is really, really awesome, albeit simple. But it checks all the boxes for like a city manager. You get attacked, you build stuff, you make sure you have enough supplies in order to survive, and you continue forward. I will see you all when next we meet, presumably in the next episode. I would assume that's when we'll meet next, unless you meet it like you run into me on the street or some shit like that. Also possible, but much less likely. I will see you all later. Thanks for stopping in. Bye, everybody.